I will say this is probably going to be the earliest I've drank bourbon in a long time, and I'm very excited about it. Tyler Boone is here. Welcome to the Positivity Report. It's a Monday. I hope you all had a very nice weekend. Mine was full of family time because my in-laws, well, my father-in-law never comes down here. He hates Los Angeles with a passion. He's like the kind of dude that like disappears into the woods for 2 weeks. So LA doesn't really like fit his vibe. You know what I mean? Yeah. Tyler, thanks for coming on the show, dude.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we like weirdly run in like a small similar circle,
Which is really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all talking about. It's like I knew you guys when I walked in.
Yeah,
It's cool.
It's great. And this is your bourbon. I mean, you're a very talented musician, but also make your own bourbon, which is like my dream scenario. It's like,
Dude.
do you want to be a rock star and make your own bourbon? Like,
The thing about it is like, you know, when you think of like musicians with like a label, like usually they're endorsed. I started, now then my dad got involved, so it's a father-son thing.
That's amazing.
So we actually own it. So
was your dad like a bourbon man before?
No,
Okay.
that's the thing, dude. And so like when I shave my face, it look like I'm 21, right? I'm 31. But if I go do like a tasting or like an event with bourbon dudes, they're like, you don't know nothing. I'm like, crap. So when my dad shows up with his beard or whatever, they go, oh, this is the man. But I actually started it.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Got it.
yeah.
Well, it's like the street cred thing. You need a little bit of beard for street cred and bourbon. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
This is the Positivity Report. We're here every single weekday, Monday through Friday. If you are a member of the Good People Association, go to the GPA.fund, member of the Bucket Club. You get one of these awesome buckets, which obviously Tyler will leave with
Nice.
because there's nothing better than a solid bucket to put bourbon into.
That's
you
nice
know?
looking.
Yeah. You can streamlab.com/goodpeople, the Good People GPA, and super chat here. It helps support all the shows. Again, portion of all proceeds go to a charity. Right now, we're focusing on the Central Coast Film Festival, Film Association. This weekend, Ken judged a film festival. And young people doing great creative things up there in the Central Coast of Ken's hometown. Ken was born. You haven't met Ken yet. You'll love Ken. He's a big bourbon guy as well.
Awesome.
Although he does drink rum and diet sometime, which I judge him on.
We should.
Like every time he orders it in public, Amanda, my
Rum
wife,
and
kind of looks at me. He's
diet.
like, "Rum and diet." I'm like, it's his one fault, but he will jump on me. Eric Bass also going to stream in here in a second.
Nice.
That's how this kind of connection started. We were just like we met on social media, and I was like, "You got to come on the show."
That's so cool.
Yeah, because you basically ran Eric's or helped run.
When he was touring,
Yeah.
have you met Eric Rickert?
Have not met Eric. Rickert.
He's like the drummer over there
Okay.
at the studio, and then this guy Jeff Leonard. It was like 2011, and so like Shinedown was always gone.
Yeah.
And so they're like, hey, you want to come and just kind of help book? I was recording there, and I kind of accidentally booked my buddy to do a drum session, and they're like, do you want a job? And I was in college, so it was killer,
That's
man.
awesome.
So I worked at a studio.
Did you go to college, Charleston?
I did.
Nice.
Yep. I was Van Wilder. It took me like 5-6 years.
Yeah, well, if you don't go 5 years, you didn't go to college.
Oh yeah, I was like, let's keep it going.
My 9th semester, my dad's like, "You gonna be done?" And I was like,
No.
"I keep failing this one math class." He's like, "No, you don't." You know?
I knew I blew it doing 4 years.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Don't.
Yeah.
4 years is every time somebody graduated in 4 years. I'm like, did you think that part through? Because the victory lap is amazing.
Dude, I had 2 classes my last semester.
It's
I was
awesome.
hanging out.
Just hanging.
Loved
out.
it.
Yeah. I remember my dad came to visit me at Penn State like during the week, and I was like, "You want to do lunch?" He's like, "Do you have class?" I was like, "What?"
I'm drinking. dude.
Yeah. I remember that my freshman year at Penn State, because my brother went to Penn State too, right? And he calls me on a Friday. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I got class at 2:30." He's like, "On a Friday? You don't have class on Fridays." And I was like, "No, I do." He's like, "Is it mandatory attendance?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Then you don't have class on Fridays. What are you doing?" And then I called him like a week later, and I was like, "Man, can I borrow the car? It's raining. My class is all the way across campus. Penn State's huge." And he's like, "It's raining. You don't have class." So you learn quick. You
I
learn
love that
very
mentality.
quick. Yeah. Tell me, like, so again, I don't know a ton about you personally. So give me like the Tyler Boone story, and then we can talk about the rum, and then we'll bring in Eric, and then we'll drink the rum, and then the show will end.
Yes.
That's bourbon, by
It's
the way.
bourbon.
Stop
What did I
calling
say?
it
You said rum twice.
Fuck! Excuse my language.
I was kind of like, did he say
I
rum?
said-
He
did.
said it a second time. I was like, he
Damn
said
it.
rum.
You know, I mean, we were
Bourbon,
talking
yes.
cans.
Rum and diet.
Rum and diet.
Yeah.
So
Because I'm a bourbon man. I mean, that's all I drink is bourbon and twisted teas. Pretty much. We love twisted teas here. The 7-Eleven keeps it stocked just for us.
The big boys?
Yeah, the big boys.
Nice,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Twist those up.
Oh man, it's great.
But yeah, man, I'll make it really short. I obviously play music.
Yeah.
Songwriter first. And I guess what led to this was I had to deal with a really big, and I mean, it's not a problem, but I won't say their name, but a really big country artist in Nashville, big time, like stadium dudes. Like his manager's like, hey man, like we should do a deal. But that was 2014, 15.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember back then, like Florida Georgia Line was the biggest thing.
Yeah, totally.
And that's not my thing.
Okay.
And I mean, no offense, but it's like what do you call that? It's like country pop, bro country.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I can't do this
With the
deal
rapping
because
stuff?
they'll get you, Josh. You'll get a publishing deal, and then you get a record deal. So you go to radio, and the country world getting number one's a big deal, right?
Right.
Oh, I got 5 number ones, and then you're a product. And so, but if you do it and it doesn't work out, you're done. And so I was like, man, I don't think I can do it. But I had so much buzz because of those meetings. Some dude came along, texted my friend's dad. He's like, hey, man, I'll invest in it. You should start a spirit with their name on it. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And I was like, my last name's Boone. I was working at a liquor store. I was broke as shit. I was living in Harry Potter's closet, 6 part-time jobs. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Woo! And long story short, he didn't have the money. And so it took me years later to do it. And then we launched it in Charleston in 2018. But with all that, the idea of touring and having a bourbon, I was like, well, I can get it into states because I toured. I mean, that's all I did for a living for like years.
Yeah.
And so like we got in Georgia. We started moving really fast. And so it just kind of like works with it, man. There's so much branding with it. Like we're doing Summerfest Milwaukee.
That's
opening
amazing.
day. They're going to have it there. We're doing stuff at Big Jam the Van. But it's like the music I do is between Americana or like blues rock, like Black Keys stuff, which is like my favorite kind of stuff. So that's basically it.
I mean, you have a great sound.
Well, thanks, man.
Yeah, it's and like being associated and knowing Eric Bass, like it gives you a little bit of street cred here at the Good People Association. And I think like Shinedown is one of those. Like I didn't realize those dudes were all like hardcore Charleston.
I mean, like Florida.
Yeah.
And I guess Zach's from Memphis, but they're like Southern dudes.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
And when you said Eric Rickert, yourself, Tyler Boone, and what was the other guy that was working at the studio with you?
Jeff Leonard.
That's like those are great country names. Those are great Southern names.
Jeff Leonard.
Jeff Leonard. No relation to Leonard Skinner.
No.
But yeah, dude. I mean, I love the idea. I always thought that like making a spirit was impossible. Like it seems impossible.
Well, it's kind of like being in a band.
Yeah.
1 million bands come out every year. 1 million brands come out every year.
Sure.
Right. And the thing that people don't get, like, and I'm not gonna hate on it, but it is a good example. Being back from Charleston, I used to manage a band called Driving and Crying, big Southern rock band.
Gotcha.
And so like Darius Rucker, so we were doing a lot of stuff with Hootie because Darius Rucker.
He's a Charleston guy, right?
He is.
Yeah.
And so he had a song called Straight to Hell. Or no, Driving Crying did. He cut Straight to Hell. Had like Jason Aldean and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so we're doing a lot of stuff together, and he came out with a whiskey at the same time. And his just looks like, I mean, it just like, there's not a lot of thinking of it. Like, it's just like a road case and da-da-da. And it's different. He doesn't own it, right?
Okay.
He doesn't need it.
Yeah.
And so, like, when they come out with a brand, people think it's just gonna hit the stores and be good. But like, you used to bartend, right? I used to bartend.
Oh yeah.
When the rep comes in the bar and he's like, so what's in it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like, oh, this is whatever's thing. It's got to be more about the F&B world too.
Right.
And so everyone comes out with a brand every year, but if it's very political, distributors got to pick you up.
Mm-hmm.
Like Total Wine's got to love you.
Yeah.
Bevmo, we just got Bevmo like
That's
a month
huge.
ago.
Yeah.
And so, but that's because we're like, hey, please. And eventually
Totally.
they're like, all right, we'll give you a run. And dude, we do it all the time. I do it constantly. I'll go in the store and buy all the product, and then I'll just like have a ton of stuff to give away. But if it doesn't move, they take you out. So it's super hard. It's like if you're not selling tickets, you're not gonna have a booking agent anymore.
I get it. No, it's when I worked at a pretty high end bar here in LA, and like brands would come in obviously all of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people they would pay for spots at the bar, like on the shelf, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people would see and be
For
like,
sure.
"What's that?" Like like what's that
No, it's
bourbon
like-
or like what's that? And I'm like, "Oh, it's Boone's. It's amazing, right?"
Yeah.
And you would get like these awful brands, right? But then you would get like really good ones that would stick, or they would pay to be on the
shelf.
drink menu.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The cocktail menu thing.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing. And so now that bars open back up,
Yeah.
what they do is they hit your distributor up and they're like, hey, do you want to do a deal? And you're like, yes. And everyone does it. You know what I mean? But if you don't do it, then you're not going to ever compete.
Totally.
So you have to spend all the money you make into it. So we haven't made much because it all goes, as soon as we get a check, I'm like, well, we're sponsoring Louder Than Life in Louisville, Kentucky. That's like Metallica and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're sponsoring Jam in the Van, which you got to come to
I
the
would
set.
love to, yeah.
We're playing there June 5th too, but like I'm sponsoring it out of my own pocket.
Damn.
Like, so I think it's worth it. I mean, they had Sarah Silverman like 2 nights ago.
Spend it to make it, right?
So
and listen, it's also too, it's fun.
Yeah.
Right? Like the marketing aspect of everything, especially with like a liquor and like outdoor events and all that kind of stuff. It's fun.
It's not a paper company. It's a bourbon company.
Right, you're not Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Is Eric back there, Ikaika?
Nope.
Oh, he's not.
No bass.
No
You'll
bass.
get a paddle when he's there.
Thank you. Yeah. So, Boone, we're going to. Can I call you Boone?
Sure.
Do people call you that? Or
They
Booner?
totally do. They call
Yeah.
me Booner. I have
Yeah.
a twin brother too. So
No
it's
shit.
So just Boone. Yeah.
What's your brother's name?
Hunter.
Hunter and Tyler Boone. God damn it. Those are such cool names. Macuga's a tough one. I get it. Like when I started dating my wife, she was like, so my name would be Amanda Macuga. And I was like, yeah.
Is that Hawaiian? What is that?
No, it's friggin' Italian.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
I was really close.
Yeah. No. We're going to Six Flags today, Ikaika and I, because we wanted to shoot some content. Like I have a severe fear of everything, right?
Like roller
Except-
coasters?
No, except roller coasters.
Oh.
Like I love them, but I do scream like the entire time I'm on the roller coaster. Something he's just finding out now. So I love that. I like it. I love jumping off things like into water, like bridges and stuff like that.
For sure.
But like I'm scared to death of horror, anything scary, any that kind of stuff. So Ikaika said,
Just like a thrill.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a good like a bungee jump, a skydive, jumping up. Like when first time I went to Austin, I was like, "Where are the bridges in town where you can jump off into lakes?" And they're like, "Well, we'll drive you around." And like we jumped off every bridge we could find. And
Heck
jump
yeah.
off. And the same as Charleston. Charleston has tons of like rope swings. There's river. There's everything.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can
It's
jump
pretty
off.
outdoor city, man.
Yeah,
Sorry, I was just down in Mexico. Don't hate me, but
No.
I did go down to.
You can go there
Yeah,
now.
okay, yeah, you can. I'm just making a joke.
Well,
But
vaccine. I think.
Ted Cruz was down there. I was hanging out with him. No, we were with,
Smart move.
Yeah, right. We went down like the Cicinotes, so you just jump in the.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of terrifying, but it was freaking awesome.
Yeah, see? But I'm scared of everything. So I'm very excited about Six Flags. But Ikaika Shively, the Hawaiian hunk, as we call him, the Prince of the Islands, Aloha Friday, he is like, don't drink bourbon before we get on a roller coaster. I was like, no, we're freaking drinking
I'm an
bourbon.
adult.
Yeah, we can do it. I don't have like a weak stomach, although I did have like a stomach bug all weekend.
Well, you like Booker's, right?
I do.
So you'll find a resemblance.
Okay.
There's 75 corn,
Okay.
21 rye, 4 barley, so sweet.
Okay.
The corn makes it the bourbon too, right? It's got to
Yeah.
be a new barrel. At least now it's 6 months. Majority corn, but I like bullet rye a ton, and so that was my favorite. And so
Oh,
it's got
yeah.
rye in it, so it's a
Okay.
little spicy, and then it's got the barley, so it's a little vanilla at the end of it.
Okay.
But there's no added sugar. That's just the mash bill.
No shit.
So yeah, so that's it. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
this
dude.
is great.
9:30. And 117.
Whoa,
You can feel it.
that was really good.
Nice, man. Thank you.
That's really good.
It's dangerously good.
No, that's the real problem. Oh man, like one little cube in there. Are you an on the rocks guy? Or you're neat.
I usually like on the rocks.
Okay,
For sure.
It's making my mouth water.
Woo!
That's so weird. I'm like,
Get yourself a glass. There's like 30 of them
no.
behind you.
Jeez, you
Oh,
got
yeah.
a weak stomach, man.
Ikaika?
You put it in your coffee.
No. I got sick last time with the Six Flags. I'll not do that again.
Oh yeah. See, this is the kind of stuff we're worried about here. I got sick
I will
at
drink
Six
this
Flags.
bottle tonight.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a lady in the chat here. Her name is Jessica Craven, and
Oh.
she is into you.
Hey, Jessica. I've known her since I was like 18.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And she says, "Damn, Tyler looks good." He's a handsome dude, man. He's a handsome dude.
Thanks.
Throw in those super chats. Throw in those Streamlabs. Thanks for being here.
Nice.
Tyler, when did you start playing music? What is like the music scene like? What is it now? Like what is? Because I love country music.
Mhm.
I love obviously certain artists. I was a big Jason Aldean fan.
Cool.
I like Jason Aldean. Love Chris Stapleton.
Oh,
I
for
would
sure.
call him like I don't know maybe
He's Americana.
yeah.
Yeah.
My wife like lives for Chris Stapleton. Love Darius Rucker.
Mm-hmm.
My wife turned me on to country music because I was born and raised in Pittsburgh. There's like half the population listens to only country of
For sure.
Pittsburgh, and the other half thinks that Leonard Skinner came out 2 weeks ago. So there's really not a lot of like pop music comes out of Pittsburgh.
What do you
But-
mean, like how's the music industry?
No, like what's like music like for you right now? Yeah.
Well, I mean, music for me personally. I mean, dude, we just had we did this December 5th. It's called Repill Day, which, if you remember, that's like Prohibition, right?
Sure.
So this guy Fred Minnick, he's got a huge YouTube channel, and
Okay.
he's like a big whiskey influencer out of Louisville. When Louder Than Life and Burn Beyond got canceled last year, everything got canceled. Right?
Yeah, everything.
He's like, hey, let's do a live virtual concert. So, I mean, dude, we just did it's over here, Third Encore Studios Infinity.
Okay.
And our live record, it was like a big sound stage. It was very expensive.
Okay.
I took out a PayPal line for that one. But Gotta hustle. But
Dude, it's a positivity report, man. It's all about the hustle.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But it just dropped the Rolling Stone last Friday.
Oh,
So
sick.
we have like a big live virtual, bluesy, heavy alt rock type thing. So I mean, with music with us, like, I was actually very excited this morning because I was like, dude, I'm gonna go drive and hang out with some dudes on a TV show.
Sure.
Haven't done that in
Ever. Yeah.
It was like the happiest morning. I was actually listening to Attention. I haven't listened to that in a minute.
It's a great album.
Now I'm all the way over here. And, it's just cool, man. It's just like we can just start doing stuff. Like Jam in the Van, we're playing there June 5th.
That's awesome.
Amazing outdoor venue, music and comedy. We just got booked for opening day Summerfest in Milwaukee, which is incredible, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be like 10,000 people. So
Dude.
it's coming back. And, obviously some parts of the country, like I was down in Florida, we're starting a beer with this too.
No way.
With Rock Brothers Brewery.
Okay.
Partnership. They do like Hootie Beer, 311 stuff.
Okay.
Florida, wide open.
Like 311 the band?
That's their flagship beer, 311. Yep.
No.
So it's called Amber Ale.
Yeah.
Because Amber.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da.
Oh, what is that? I was into 311 in high school pretty hard.
Oh, me too.
I
Me too.
loved it.
420 was a big deal.
Dude, it was huge. Do you remember the song Hydroponic by
Oh, yeah.
311? That was my jam.
They go reggae to like heavy rock.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
Go.
I was at used to be this club in Pittsburgh called Metropole, and then they called it M. But 311 came, and it might have fit like 2,500 people, and it was so much like moshing and jumping around that a dude behind me was much taller than me, and he landed his chin on top of my head and chipped his teeth, and his teeth like fell into my face.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
He broke his teeth on your head?
It broke his teeth on my head. And I had like a like a lump on my head, which I still think is why my head's a little misshapen at points. But it was one of the greatest concerts I've ever been to. 311 effing destroyed it.
Oh, they still do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Nick Hexum, legend.
Oh, yeah. But I was getting down in Florida, wide open, man. Music's
You can
going
do
crazy.
whatever.
Texas.
Yeah.
So just parts of the country, man. But California, June 15th, right?
Yeah.
Is that wide open?
Totally.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be crazy.
I know, right?
I moved here for 4 or 5 months, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
So I've been living my whole life indoors. It sucks. Yeah. So I'm excited.
Yeah, dude. Where did the Jam in the Van? When did that start?
3 months ago.
Okay.
I just reached out to him. I was like, hey man, I'm such a huge fan of comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
Because now I'm like, it's kind of like musicians, like, oh, this guy's coming up, and
Yeah.
like this girl, she's doing this, but oh my god, she's right over here.
Mhm.
And it's like, musicians are like carnies too. You're just doing all these different things, right? And so I was like, they invited me to a show, and like, would you want to sponsor us? I was like, well, like, everyone assumes you have a ton of money.
Right.
We really don't. We will one day, right?
Yeah.
But I was like,
It tastes like this. Shit, man.
yeah, man. Cheers once again.
Dude.
But-
That's really good.
I was just like, hey, maybe I can sponsor you. We worked out a deal, and we did it in payments. It's all paid off now, and it's cool, man, because I don't know, man. People are so excited to do stuff. If you go to Jam in the Van, it blows people's minds because they separate you. But it's California, man. It's so funny. You walk in, they like sit you down. They go, "Are you smoking tonight?" And they give you cannabis. You're like, "What?" It's just, and I can't smoke in public.
Yeah, no.
I did it last weekend with my buddy. He's like, "What are you doing, man?" He like took it from me
Yeah. Oh, no.
because I'll get weird.
My mother-in-law has like the strongest weed on the planet, right? She's 4-time cancer survivor. Smoke as much as you want, right? She's an amazing artist. She's an amazing human. She's crazy. But I cannot smoke or ingest any of the weed that she's ever given me. So I come home on Friday. My stomach wasn't feeling good all day Friday. And so I come home and my mother-in-law's like, I have some edibles that might help your stomach. And I was like, how? She's like, they're not that strong. And I looked at my sister-in-law and she's like, don't take them. She's like, don't take them. So I took a quarter of one of them.
Like
and
a gummy or something?
It's a gummy, yeah. And I was out in the front yard with like chipping golf balls back and forth for 3 hours. It didn't eat, like zoned out. Amanda comes out,
Just
she's like,
looking at the ground.
what are you doing out here? I was like, that fucking weed got me, man. Like I can't do it in public anymore. I can't even do it in private, Tyler. I am bad
Stare
with
at the
weed.
wall?
Yes, like booze was always meant for me.
For
right?
sure.
I started smoking weed a little too young, I think, right? I'm not. I mean, my daughter's 2 months old. I'm gonna tell her early on, like, listen, Dad had his things. Okay, he did it.
He had his vices.
He had his vices. As soon as I found alcohol, I was like, whoa, who needs weed? This stuff's amazing. You can hang out with people. Like, I'd smoke weed and then, like, hang in a basement alone. Like,
Oh yeah.
do you guys know that there's aliens?
Every time if I get high in public, I'll go to the bathroom, just kind of stare at the mirror for a second, like, you need to get a job.
Get this together. Dude, as soon as I start smoking weed, the first thing I think about is like, you know what's going to happen one day? I'm going to die. That is where my mind goes immediately. It is so bad. 2 years ago.
I'm gonna die.
Okay, my mother-in-law this amazing, like, beautiful artist, stoner. They live on this ranch up in Northern California. My father-in-law, Superior Court judge of Monterey County.
Oh, wow.
Like, he's a big deal.
Terrifying.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
I got high on Christmas Eve, and I wouldn't come inside. Amanda's like, you got to come in for dinner. I was like, is Tim going to be there? Like, he's
He
my
lives
dad.
here. He lives here.
Yeah, he lives there. I sat there, like, ate my dinner in silence. I was like, I'm gonna go to the hot tub. And it's like, it's 6:30. I was like, I know, I can't do it anymore.
I gotta get away from your father.
Yeah. Oh, California has messed me up because back in the day, like, you'd smoke like a crappy shake joint or something in high school. Like, you know, you're in Pennsylvania, and be like, yo, it's from Humboldt. It's like, it's not from Humboldt. It came in a freaking Ziploc.
And it looked like it came from the ground.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's dirt.
Yeah.
And you'd get like sort of high. I'm like, this is cool. And then as soon as I came to California, I was like, what is this?
The pre-roll joints with like the Keith on it.
Yes.
I'm like, that is terrifying.
Terrifying.
It's like AK-47,
Yes.
Kalumba, whatever the hell they call it.
Correct.
It's
It's
scary.
awful. You know
So
what else
scary.
is dangerous is this. Because it could be like, you're like, oh, it's only 9 o'clock. I'm like, let's go for brunch. Let's make some brunch old fashies. Let's get it.
Let's get mimosas, boy.
Oh,
It'll get you lit.
now we're talking.
It'll get you lit.
Oh my goodness. All right, Eric Bass is here, the legend. They're working on Shinedown 7 right now. I saw a video the other night that they're out of tracks. They've like run out of tracks. That's a production thing?
Out of tracks, like they ran out of tape.
I don't know. Eric, what happened?
It's impossible to run out of tracks.
Oh, it's impossible to run out of tracks. There he is,
What's
Eric
up,
Bass. Look at him.
I think in some versions of the software, maybe 128 is the limit, but
Okay.
I paid for the good shit. So, we're not running out of tracks.
Okay.
No.
I saw some video of it, like I think we're out of tracks or something. Was that was?
Yeah, that was a joke. Look, Doug likes to make the engineer likes to make fun of me because I'm so make sure you save that, and he's always
Sure.
going to save it, But
Yeah.
he I think he takes a little bit of offense to the fact that I'm always like, save that, remember that, keep that, like he's going to throw it out.
Yeah. Yep. How's the
but,
recording going, bud? And thanks
it's
for
good,
like
man.
setting up this sort of introduction via social media. To
I
kinda all
know,
came
man.
Full circle.
This is weird. It's like universes colliding.
Yeah, boondoggle over
Super
here.
cool.
I mean, I've had enough bourbon. I'm coming up with nicknames for him. So.
Mr. Bass, what's going on?
Mr.
I
Bass.
haven't seen you. I've talked to you. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah, this guy saved a song I did last year.
Yeah.
It just
I didn't save it.
no, he totally did. He mixed it and from the kindness of his soul, I was like, I kept asking, can I pay you? Can I pay you? Can I pay you? And he just like left me on red for like a year. So thank you very much.
Yeah, man. You're my boy, man. I'm gonna look out for you.
You know what's really cool about it is so like obviously I don't have a record label.
Yeah.
So if I go to radio, it's like for a month or two because that's all I can afford. But it was really cool because it would be like in Montana, South Dakota, whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be like Hailstorm, Shinedown, 5 Finger Death Punch, Tyler Boone, getting high. So it got some cool radio play. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, man,
But it didn't make any
I'm
sense.
glad.
That's awesome.
I'm so glad.
I'm
man.
getting those bourbon sweats here. I had to just jack up the AC. Dude, have you had this bourbon before, Eric?
I have actually. We have it. It's
awesome.
sitting right behind me on the countertop. We drank from it yesterday. We had a little cookout yesterday.
Nice,
so.
man.
My goodness.
Tell Hoogie what's up. I was texting him yesterday.
I will, man. Yeah, he was outside arguing with his kids a little while ago. I think he was. I was gonna see if he wanted to come on, and it was just a bunch of Canadian gibberish that I didn't understand.
I was going to call him the Canadian Crown Prince, Hoogie.
Yeah, just
Sorry.
something about poutine and Tukes and Tim Hortons, and I don't remember the rest of it.
There isn't. We were talking Tukes the other day.
Yeah, man. That is the correct term. It's
That
not
is-
Touquet, it's Tuke.
Tuke.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah,
the
for
2K.
sure.
Yeah.
Did you know that Paul Stanley from Kiss at one point in his career, this must have been late 80s, you can find it online, he did a Folgers coffee commercial where he's like on a trapeze or something, or this girl's on a trapeze and he's singing to her about Folgers coffee. Have you ever seen this?
No.
Oh, dude, it's so good. I don't know if it ever aired or not, but we have our little band and production text chain, and Brent just sent it over. He's like, look at this. And it's Paul Stanley
Look at
doing
this.
a Folgers commercial, like singing a Folgers commercial. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. But it's
Oh
Paul
my
Stanley.
God.
It's
and
Paul
like this weird
Stanley in your
circus-
face.
It's this weird circus tent thing. I don't really know what's going on.
I want to know, like, the marketing meeting behind that is like, hey, can we get, like, I don't know, Wilford Brimley? He seems like a coffee guy. Like, nope, we got Paul Stanley.
Paul
It's like,
Stanley's
oh,
That's amazing.
whoa,
Yeah, because Paul Stanley he did Phantom of the Opera for a second.
sure.
That's
You
right.
know, he's about the theater. And I guess maybe this was during that time period. He was trying to expand his scope beyond one of the most successful.
Oh, here we go.
rock
Here we
bands.
go. We got it.
Yeah.
Holy.
Oh my God.
Look at Boston. What is this?
This is very epic.
Look at Stanley go.
Yeah, that's real, man.
Whoa.
That final flourish is incredible.
Come on.
The Stanley
I had no idea
flourish.
about this. It's one of the most incredible things I've ever seen.
That was pretty dope.
This is why I was late.
You're watching Paul Stanley over and over again. Ikaika, pull up the video of the Candyman. This is the other video that Ikaika showed me on Friday. Okay. Have you seen this? Do you know what I'm talking? Okay, so you know the scene in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory when the first one, the one with Gene Wilder, not the weird one with Johnny Depp, where
The real one.
the real one.
The guy's singing about the Candyman.
Yeah, he's like,
Well, it's
"The Candyman."
it's an Apple commercial.
I know.
I can't stand that Apple commercial.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
The final line is purple.
Yeah, and the phone's getting painted.
Yeah.
yeah.
It does not look tasty. No phone cases. All right, so watch this. So it said, look in the right corner. Watch the kid. Okay, yeah, right down there. All right, see where the little the cursor is.
Yes.
Okay, now watch. Watch this little girl just get clipped by that door. And
Dude, that's amazing. He's like, come on, keep acting, keep acting.
you got it. I mean, he doesn't even flinch. He's like, shut it, kid.
That's show business, man. There's just going to be
man.
casualties, you
Like
know?
the stage mom comes out. She's like, the Candyman killed my daughter. And look at.
That kid wasn't taking it. It was like a zombie going through the door. It's like, keeps
Look,
going.
if she were a proper stage mom, she wouldn't care. She's like, where's the check? Where's the check?
man.
Hollywood.
check.
Hollywood.
I'll tell you what. What is Paul Stanley? How has he not sung for more? After that one, his agent should have been like, should we rep every product now?
Well,
What?
you know, I think, you know, Doc McGee is his manager, right? Now, Tyler's met Doc.
Okay.
He knows what. I'm very surprised knowing that, because just how business that guy is, that there weren't more things. But then again, if that's your pitch reel, you know, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to get anything else after that.
My best bud Sean.
Do
He
you want
lives
some
here.
more? Because
Sure.
this is. Ikaika, you're driving to Six Flags.
My best bud Sean that I met in Nashville lives here. His dad plays in the Nigga Dirt Band, keyboard player.
Oh, nice.
Sean worked for Doc for like 2 years, and so every time I went to the office, it was
Bless
just
you.
like pinball machines, and, you know, lunch boxes, and I was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Kiss fucking did everything.
Every Kiss
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
They were like the Harley Davidson of, you know, of bands. Everything Kiss. Gene Simmons, we were talking bartending bar stories early. Gene Simmons came in the one time when they were shooting. Remember he had that reality show, like Gene Simmons, what was it called? Like Living Gene Simmons or Gene's World. I don't know. But
Yeah. I remember that.
his whole family came in for dinner because we had like a bar and a restaurant, and I went out and had to, like, you know, and it was all on camera, whatever. And the director was like, all right, you got to bring like the drinks in, and then he's going to ask you a question about the drinks. And then I walk out there and he didn't ask me any questions about the drink. And I'm like, all right, cut. Gene, you got to ask him a question about the drink. He's like, I don't want to ask him a question about the drink. And they're like, all right, so he's not going to ask you a question about the drinks anymore. And I was like, all right, it's fine. I'll go back in and keep bartending. No big deal. That's all I got. And Shannon Tweed was like the sweetest human being on the planet.
She's
and like,
awesome, yeah.
I had from like day one of like sexual awakening, I had the crush on Shannon Tweed. Like Shannon Tweed was my entire youth. Like she was my adolescence. I one time went to a store and bought a Shannon Tweed calendar, and my dad's like, can't put that in your room. It's like, you're 14. You can't have that. Yeah. I don't know who sold that to you at Spencer's Gifts, but you can't have that in your room. Your mom's going to be really offended. Ikaika Shively, Prince of the Islands, what do you got?
Spencer's was like the real-time pornography when you were a
Yes.
kid.
Yeah, totally.
You know,
Yeah.
like maybe you couldn't get it back to the house, but you could go in the back and look through the posters.
Do you want a smoking dragon fountain, a naked picture of Shannon Tweed, and yin yang balls? We got them. Spencer's Gifts.
Let me ask you a question. And I know this is the positivity report,
Talk
but
to me.
this is just reality. Have you been in a Spencer's recently?
No.
I haven't been to a mall in like 5 years.
Okay, so you know, days off on tour, you're
Sure.
raping and pillaging every mall you can find. You're pirate shipping every mall, right? So we end up like, you know, Spencer's, Hot Topic, whatever.
Yeah.
I went into a Spencer's. It might have been in Iowa somewhere. went into a Spencer's, and it's a full-on sex toy store now. In the
What?
back. Like
Handcuffs
it.
and
all of it.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So
Like
Hustler
they've
bought
gone way,
Spencer's.
way past where it used to be. Like you go past the posters now, and past the posters are you know,
just dildos.
Just dildo.
anything. Yeah, anything you want. It's all right there.
Where'd you get the dildo? Spencer's. What?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Here back in the day, like the Shannon Tweed thing was the most risque thing you could buy. Oh,
That's
man.
so funny.
Ikaika Shively, what do you got, buddy?
I would say it's called Family Jewels. It's a TV show.
Oh,
that was it.
Family Jewels.
Jewels, yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
what it is. Gene Simmons,
That's what
Family
it is.
That was a
Jewels.
minute ago.
Man,
Yeah.
I wish I had known about the folders. You know, we flew we toured with Kiss. We flew on the Kiss jet with Paul Stanley, and I figured I had that I've told the story here before. I had the limited amount of time with Doc McGee, Paul Stanley on a plane to just pick their brains about whatever, you know.
So cool.
And if I had known, that would have been the first question.
Yeah.
So the Folgers ad.
Yeah. The first question I asked David Bowie when I met him, I was like, "How'd you learn how to do those balls with your hand in Labyrinth?" And he's like, "That
Perfect.
wasn't." He's
What'd
like,
he
"That
say?
wasn't my hand." And I was like, "Ah." He's like, "You
What'd
know
he
how
say?
hard that is?" He said it wasn't his hand. They had like they inserted his hand. He's like,
Come
"Dude."
on.
Because everybody was like, when you met David Bowie, would you ask him? Like, you asked him about Ziggy Stardust? You asked him. I was like, no, we talked about Labyrinth for like 15 minutes. It was awesome.
That's amazing.
Because that's how I know David Bowie. Like, listen, I grew up in a very Catholic household. David Bowie was like very risque.
Oh, for sure.
Right? So I wasn't allowed to like be a David Bowie fan. But then he was in Labyrinth, and my mom was like, "Oh, isn't he amazing?" I was like, "Mom, that's David Bowie." She's like, "What?" I don't know. And then she watched Labyrinth and loved it. But then, if you remember Labyrinth, I mean, David Bowie's Johnson is on display that entire movie. Like,
Completely.
it is a dick bulge for the whole time. And he's wearing like gray. It's a gray leotard that he's wearing.
He's in the advertisement. He's in the Folgers ad. He was the guy on the trapeze.
That's so funny.
Trapeze. How great would it be if they inserted Paul Stanley on the trapeze? Like, it goes from a bald guy on a trapeze to then Stanley catching the girl, and then he's singing upside down to the camera instead of
And
that
then he
flourish.
disappears and she falls. It would have been great. It would have been great. I love that.
I think we need to get that Paul Stanley flourish like cut out, and we just play it on the show when something awesome happens. Like,
that's
hit the
awesome.
Paul Stanley. Eric, you just
What's he doing
created
at the
this
end? Can we see it again? Is it
Yeah,
because
can
he does the ta-da and
It-
then
Like a ballet.
That
was perfect.
Look at him go.
the
Ikaika Shively,
matador. He does the matador.
Ikaika Shively crushing it today, and he hasn't had any of Boone's bourbon. Boone's
Oh,
bourbon.
man.
Is
That's
it 9
probably
a.m.
why
where
he's
you
crushing
are?
it, Yeah.
Have some
It's
Boone's.
9 a.m. where you are. My God.
Eric, this is very good. This
I
is
wish I
dangerously
could
good.
get in there with you guys. I have to have my brain turned on today, though.
Well, how's the album going?
It's good, man. We're actually ahead of schedule.
Nice.
With what would normally what the normal drum tracking schedule would be. We're like 2 songs ahead, so that's
Okay.
good.
Right on.
Yeah, man. We called it early last night. I got a little frustrated. Anytime I get a little like about things, I'm like, yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go.
Yeah.
Can't have any bad energy in the studio.
It's like cutting yourself off at a bar. It's like, I think
Which is hard to do.
it's very hard to
Hard to
do.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to keep going. But yeah, man, it's going great. Drum sound amazing.
Good.
So we're recording a lot of tracks this time. So it's a lot of big workload. But hey, man, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I've got great people to rely on. So
How's Rickard? Is he crushing it?
who?
Rickard.
What?
Oh, come on, Eric Rickard. Come on.
I'm kidding. Come on. Rickard's good, man. He's holding it down. Rickard is the he's my buffer between, like, 'cause I want to fix everything. It's my studio and I know the ins and outs of it, but so does Rickard. He helped me build it. And he's been my right hand for 20 years now. So
And he's the guy that hired you.
Yeah,
Eric
he's
Rickard.
yeah. So he's the guy that he's got like my buffer. He keeps all the technical, like if something's going wrong technically, it's like I don't even know about it. So it's great. It's good. It keeps me calm, because I have that tendency to want to, like, if a preamp's not working properly or something, or they can't, this routing's not going well or whatever, but with the equipment, I want to run in and fix it. And he just
All the technical stuff behind music blows my mind. I mean, all technical stuff blows my mind, but all like the amount of chords and stuff that goes into, like, all of the knobs in those boards that you would see in like an Eminem video or any rock video
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep.
too many knobs.
I mean, Rickard, he tore apart the studio, the whole thing, right, and brought it over to John's Island.
Oh yeah. So everything's here. So what happens in a recording studio is every piece of gear, every microphone line, every equalizer, everything runs into one hub called a patch bay, and it's you're just patching one piece of equipment into another piece of equipment using these old school what are called TT. They stand for tiny telephone. They're the
little
old
cables.
school switchboard.
Yep.
Like
plugs.
Mad Men, like
Yeah,
corporate
totally.
accounts
that's-
payable.
that's-
Nina
so
speaking.
you're
just a
literally
moment.
routing
Yeah.
everything through this hub. So
Okay.
all of the cabling in the entire studio runs to like one place that's, a foot and a half by
It was like always the
a
top
foot
right.
tall.
Yeah.
Right? Top right
What's
of the
that?
board. It was always the top right of the board, the old one.
Yeah, we have it off to the side now. It's in a different rack now. But yeah, so everything runs there. So any sort of routing for anything, you run, from this to this, from that to this, from that to this, and this to this to this, until you get it into the recorder. Whatever routing you want to do. So there's just a lot of stuff that can technically go wrong. It's pretty crazy
It's
how
a lot more
but
complicated.
it's actually more crazy how often it goes right.
Oh.
That you have all that stuff run there and there's not more problems.
I will say, back in my day, I was pretty legendary at hitting record during the radio and making mixtapes straight from the radio.
Nice.
Ooh, I was good. Because I knew as soon as that song was ending, I wanted to cut it right before the DJ came on. Like, oh, Pittsburgh fans, welcome. Donnie Iris playing the IC Light Amphitheater this weekend. You wanted to get that before the song was over. And the hardest song, if you guys know this, the hardest song to record off the radio, I was just begging for it, was Journey Any Way You Want It. Because it starts like, anyway. It's just like a 1, 2, and in. So I would as soon as the thing would end on the classic rock station, 102.5 WDVE, Pittsburgh rocks.
Nice.
Song would be over. It's like, all right, we'll see. And then you'd hear and I'm like, this could be any way you want it. Boom. And I'm like, not the Eagles again, son of a bitch. And then you got to rewind it and start it over. So I finally got Any Way You Want It, and I'd never been more excited. It was like the first time I saw boobs and the first time I recorded Any Way You Want It. It was unbelievable.
Kids will never know that the
Making
joy
mixtapes.
and agony
Yeah.
of that. Like you're
Oh.
waiting and waiting on the song to come on, and then you finally it's coming on. It's like, shut up, Rick Dees. I don't want to hear you talk over the beginning of the song that I love. Nobody cares.
Oh man!
Uh,
and Rick Dees from South New Jersey lives in Cape May, New Jersey, where he used to vacation as a family, and he always hung out at this bar called the Brown Jug. Every time he went there, like, "There's Rick Dees!" Like people would just yell his name. He'd be like, "Hey!" He'd walk in, just sit at the bar. It was great. It was awesome. Yes.
Yeah, man. I love those days, man. On Saturday mornings, anytime the top 40, Casey Kasem or Rick Dees or whatever it was on, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, whatever it was.
Sunday morning,
I'd-
we'd wait
you know,
before church, and you'd wait for the #1 song from Casey Kasem.
Yeah,
and
but
be late to
I'd be
church.
waiting
Yeah.
for
I did that.
I knew that was it. I tried to get good recordings during the weekday on my local radio station, but it's hard to get a clean recording. But you knew that if you listen to the top 40, that song was going to be on at some
Totally.
point. And
Yep.
you kind of knew when it was going to come up so you could be ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So-
Last week it was 7. Could be 6 this week. We don't know.
Yeah.
GPACharity, Low Hot Friday.
Speaking
what
of
do we
worlds colliding, this is like the Labyrinth and Paul Stanley put together.
Oh my God.
got? Look at Paul Stanley's. He's got a merkin in there. He got a little afro. Holy moly!
Dude, that's awesome.
Look at
Look at
this.
that bulge.
I know.
Man, I do have to say though, I'm not saying this for damage control. It's actually very true. Paul Stanley's one of the nicest people, man.
Sure.
He's super nice, man.
I can't imagine
really,
him not
really-
being nice. If you can do this in a commercial, you have to be the nicest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
Hey guys, because Paul Stanley sort of had final cut on the commercial, right?
Oh, for
And he's
sure.
like,
Right. Had to.
he was like, "Oh, did you guys see that last flourish? Did I just break the commercial?" Yeah.
I wonder if he signed the contract and he couldn't get out of it, and he saw it and he was like, "Oh my God, this is gonna ruin me." 'Cause I don't think it ever came out.
I don't remember
think
ever
the
seeing
commercial
it.
ever aired.
I don't know.
The only Folgers commercial I remember is the Peter, the one from the Christmas commercial. Where the sun comes in and it's Christmas morning and the family doesn't know and somebody drops him off and it's snowing
Oh,
and he walks and he
yes.
opens the Folgers and he starts the coffee and the mom wakes up and she's like, and the little
right.
sister comes running down the stairs and the mom's like, Peter, like, oh, they did it! It's the greatest Christmas commercial ever.
Yeah.
I think
do remember that.
I don't even know if they still make Folgers, but they still play that commercial.
I don't know if
Do they still make
it.
coffee commercials? Is that still a thing?
Yes.
Do they?
Maybe on Hulu.
Yeah.
know?
Because it used to just be you could get Maxwell House and Folgers, and that
Yeah,
was it.
that was-
That's it. That's all
that's
you
it.
got. Now coffee's so bougie, it's like
It's like beer.
everyone's drinking something
Yeah.
local or whatever. I don't even know if they
Sanka.
try anymore, do they?
Yeah.
Kombucha.
A kombucha commercial.
It's a new thing.
Do you not poop often enough? Here's some kombucha. Do you want to be sort of drunk but also near a bathroom? Kombucha. That's what that stuff is. Every time we'll go out to brunch, and a man will be like, "Ooh,
Kombucha.
they've got kombucha." I'm like, "Babe,
Lock it up.
lock it up.
Lock it up.
I get
You were gonna
kombucha."
shit yourself.
Yeah,
before you
it's
get back to the
brutal.
car.
Nothing quite goes well like brunch and kombucha.
Oysters and kombucha.
It's fantastic.
Santa Monica.
Oh man. So
Good.
Tyler, what's up, man? I know I was late to the party. I'm sure you've already filled everybody on everything you're doing. But what's going on?
It's
Dude,
the world. It's Forbes' world's best bourbons, and I can attest to that.
Yeah, man.
This stuff is friggin' great.
We got named top 6 in the world.
Top 6 in the world.
Yeah. Trust me, I always Google
Yeah.
like Boone's Bourbon. Like, hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
Please, someone fucking buy it. and all of a sudden, it was like top 6 in the world Forbes. I was like, holy shit! And so,
It's a sexy label too.
thanks, man. My
It's
friend
great.
Shannon out of here made it.
It's awesome.
We're gonna be
That
national.
was, a,
dude.
that was a very Charleston thing. My friend Shannon out of here.
Yeah.
Out of here. She's out of here. She's out of Los Angeles.
He was
out of here.
he was ripping on me about Charleston. He goes, that's very Charleston of you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
dude.
Mhm.
That's a very Charleston thing. He's out of here.
He's out of here.
Dude,
Shannon.
Charleston's like this pocket of the world where everything seems perfect. Like you said, the Peter Pan thing. Every
Yeah.
time I've been to Charleston, I was like, why did I not live here my whole life?
I mean, I don't know. Bassett, Rickert would call it, and Jeff would call it the vortex. I would call it the Peter Pan syndrome. Like you can play cover gigs, you can make a pretty good life, but you're partying too much. You know, you're living downtown.
Oh.
Yeah, well, it's kind of one of those places. It's like you just don't want to leave, you know. So
Yep.
it's like whatever happens here, if I can make it here, then great. See, Tyler got away.
Yeah.
He broke out. I technically did not break out. I was just staying here doing my thing and got sort of, you know.
Uh-huh.
I guess, you know, I never had to leave. But Charleston is one of those places where yeah, man, you just kind of get stuck here because it's cool. It's a great life, you know. You got the beach. You got, you know, what's the college
8 to
boy to
1.
girl ratio, like
It's
10 to
8 to
1 or
1.
something.
I knew that's where you were
Girls
getting
to
at.
guys?
No,
Yeah.
no one wants to leave.
Yeah, 8 to 1. Yeah, college Charleston was hard to have a girlfriend because you had a girlfriend. You're like, well, there's, you know.
Yeah, that seems stupid.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
But
yeah.
but I love Charleston. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where you
Great.
make this.
Yeah.
This comes out of Charleston.
See? So I see nothing bad comes out of Charleston. People leave it and they're like, I gotta go back.
Well, I mean, I was telling them, and I'm pretty sure it's. I mean, because what you guys are doing is incredible, but that the studio you guys built has to be the best one in Charleston. I'm sure no one's allowed to go over there.
I mean, you can come over.
Oh, for sure. But
It's a cool place, man. I don't know if it's I'm not up on my studios in Charleston very much, but I can't remember the last time I was at another studio here. But it used to be Hybrid. Now they changed it. I think they call it 100 Watt. I think is what they are now. Alan and
Alan,
Scotty's
yep.
place. Yeah, my friend Alan Price, who
you played in Shinedown for a second.
he toured with Shinedown. He toured with us when we did our acoustic tour. He's on the acoustic DVD. His place is really cool. It's really great. Yeah, man, I would like to think we built probably the best place here. It's the most boutique-y place here for sure.
Absolutely,
you know,
all the gear.
So,
You know, that was cool about when I was working at the studio. It was a different time, and now it's different because everyone has a laptop now,
Yeah.
right? But you know, they were doing not just Shinedown. It was like bands from Canada, and then like we were booking bands. That was like the Kickstarter days. It was like, hey, do a Kickstarter, make 10,000, and make a real record,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And now everyone has like their basement, and they're just
Sure.
doing like drums that kind of sound real weird.
Yeah.
So it was a really cool time because you were watching bands make albums.
Yeah.
It was really
That's
neat.
awesome.
It was
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, music has changed. I mean, like anything, but like music has gone through these insane changes. I mean, we were just talking about Napster the other day. We're talking about like recording tapes. That was only 20 some years ago. I mean, it's
well,
insane.
that was the original Napster, right? Like bootleg tapes.
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know?
dude, I had so many Fish bootlegs. I had a Fish phase for a minute, and then like
I
bootleg.
think it was more than a minute. I think it's still going on.
Listen, if Fish shows up in
Secretly.
Los Angeles, I'm going to the show.
Big
Tell you
Fish
what.
fan?
I was for a long time, but I can still rattle off some Fish tunes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm still waiting on the concert when they play NICU or Mango Song. Those are the two ones I still have yet to see. Them.
Did
They're
the
my
music start to
favorites.
suck when Trey Anastasio stopped smoking crack? 'Cause I know he did. He
God,
stopped.
That's
Good for him.
everybody knows crack music.
Yeah.
Everybody knows
Pain.
that's when the best stuff comes. Yeah, exactly.
Desperation.
Eric, thanks for coming on, buddy. Love
for
you,
having me.
man. Good luck with the rest. Whatever. We'll talk this week. We got some things we got to set up.
Yeah, we got to get some business done.
But obviously, the most important thing is getting Shinedown 7. All the people in here are loving it. You guys are crushing some social media game there while you're recording the album, so that's super fun.
Good.
Bring some of this Boone's Bourbon in there because I tell you what, Shinedown 8, if it's fueled by Boone's Bourbon, that thing will be platinum. Because I'm sweating through my shirt right now, and it's the greatest bourbon sweats I've ever had. It's amazing. Here's the thing: is it doesn't like I run hot in general, right? Like with the one time. So, real quick story. My uncle bartends at a bar in Pittsburgh. It's like the local vets in my dad's hometown, right? But they have like they have weddings and stuff there. So they have this huge section of the bar where you can do a stand-up show. So I was like, I want to go and I want to record it and I want to do it in Pittsburgh. So I go there and the day of the set, the guy's like, air conditioning broke. And I was like, oh, no. And you can still smoke inside the bar. This was only like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, right? You can still smoke inside the bar.
It's California?
Oh, this is Pittsburgh. This is
Okay.
And this is not in the city of Pittsburgh. This is outside the city of Pittsburgh. So my cousin, books the venue, and I do have my uncle do like dad jokes to open the set, right?
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
And I did like an hour and 25 minutes, right? And halfway through the show, I was like, Uncle Dan. And he came back up, took the mic, and I went and changed shirts because I had sweated through a shirt already. And then, if you guys watch the Mark Ellis show from the Viper Room, their air conditioning broke. I have like a bad history of air. Middle of the summer, it was like our first stand-up show. We did it virtually, whatever. I had a pink shirt on. It looked like or a blue shirt. It looked like I was wearing hypercolor.
Oh,
Top
no.
was sweat. The bottom was like, in the middle was like still the normal color of the shirt. Had to
Ew.
drive home, change shirts,
and come back.
I put on a black shirt. Like that, I should just know, like always just wear black shirts. But there is something magical about like those first couple sips of whiskey that you sweat it and then your body's like, okay, now we're good. Let's go.
Yeah.
And that's where I am right now. Like, is like, we got to go to Six Flags. Shut up! We're drinking. It's a Monday. I will tell you what. If you're going to start your Monday, you start it with Boone's Bourbon.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. That's how you
Boone's
do it.
Bourbon and Six Flags every Monday.
Come on. It's the positivity report. You got to look on the bright side of things. Every day you choose positivity. Guess what gets your blood flowing positively? Boone's Bourbon.
You want to lose your job?
That could
Boone's
never,
Bourbon.
ever become. That could never become pancakes. You know what pancakes is? Pancakes sound like a great idea and like what you want, but then after you've had a few, you're like, I don't know if this was a great idea.
There was a pretty big
that would
band.
never be pancakes.
Never.
There's a band that you told me that's how they were. You're like they're good, but after a minute they're not so good.
They're pancakes. They're pancakes.
They're pancakes.
I'm not gonna say who. But
I'll give you that. Because like
Everybody wants pancakes until they're halfway through their pancakes.
Totally. 100%. Then your hands are all sticky and you're like, this is so much. I just ate cake for breakfast.
Oh, it's
It's been
nasty.
disguised as cake for so long. And not that eating cake for breakfast is wrong, okay? But you're right. Pancakes,
like when you get 4
pancakes.
stacked, that's too much.
yeah. I always used to call like dudes that were just, they didn't really bring anything to the table. I said they were busboys because they just like took things away from the the table, So
Oh,
it's
that's
just
a
like,
great term.
It's a
Wow,
busboy.
I like
feeling
that.
Right? Like, people are like, it's Jared. I'm like, Jared's kind of a busboy. Like, nice guy. Again, nice guy. Like, the busboy comes over, you're like, hey, how's everything going? He's like, great. And he clears the plates and he leaves. He's not your waiter. He's not, he's not really.
He brings nothing to the table.
He brings nothing to the table. He
I
takes
like
it all away. He's not a food runner. He's a busboy.
I'm gonna use that.
That's a great term.
It is.
This is the positivity report. Don't be a busboy. Bring things to the table. Eric, keep crushing it over there. We love you, buddy.
I'm trying, man. Trying.
Oh, wait,
yeah.
real quick driving range story. Just got to tell you this quick one. So,
what you got? Oh, by the way,
'Cause Eric's a big- are you a
sent me
golfer?
hang on. The video you sent me is fantastic. I didn't get back to you. He sent me this great video, this great driving range video.
oh yeah,
Of that dude. That is. I don't want to play her for any money.
No.
For any amount of money.
holy cow,
Well, this chick just crushes it.
just smoking it, just.
Oh.
So
I just got into golf. I'm really bad. but
it's the best sport
I
on the
love it.
planet.
No.
Yeah,
It
we
wasn't-
can
she
play
wasn't-
together.
Yeah,
It was. He was sending me a driving range video, and it was one of those ones where the ball pops up on the tee.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and this girl's just got a putter, and
She's-
the ball pops up and she putts it.
Putts
and the ball
it.
pops up and she putts it, and that's it. And I'm like, that's focus right there.
Yeah,
Focus.
She is going to win
Always
all
ready.
the money.
Always ready.
Anyway.
so I go to the driving range on Saturday, and I might be the greatest driving range golfer of all time. Like I had lights out. So I'm hitting this ball, and there's this little like 11-year-old kid next to me, and he's like, "What's your handicap?" And I was like, "I'm like a 9." He's like, "Oh, I thought you were better."
Like a kid?
Yeah, like
Not
a
a
kid.
teenager.
No.
Like
He was like a kid. And I was like, yeah, I kind of got like a little bit of a chipping yip, and sometimes my putter fails me. He's like, oh, okay. He like went back to
See ya.
See ya. Yeah. And then I went over. They had this like kids camp going on because they
And
just
they're way
reopened
better.
all the practice facilities. And I walked over to the lady and I was like, so what's like the youngest that you accept students? She's like, well, we have students as young as like 3 and 4. She's like, how old is your child? And I was like, she's 9 weeks.
Already.
Looking
Look,
ahead.
Josh has a plan.
I have a
He's got
plan.
a plan.
I've got a plan,
amazing.
Tyler. And the plan involves Boone's Bourbon. Man, it's
9
good.
a.m..
9 a.m. It's fantastic. All right, brother. Love you,
All right,
man.
man.
Thanks for taking the time.
Love you guys. Good seeing you.
See you, dude.
Talk to you soon.
That's cool.
Fueling it.
Yeah.
Fueling it,
Yeah,
Tyler.
dude, you're lit, my friend.
I love it.
Yeah, God bless.
Right?
Hey,
See, here's like cheers, man.
Best luck to you today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I'm
good.
just gonna need it.
By 3 o'clock, just passed out at Six Flags. Man,
Yeah.
passed out at Six Flags.
I'm a big napper.
Sweating.
Look at you guys. Totally. Yeah.
Dude, I haven't seen that show in
Oh,
forever.
it's so good.
Ah,
This is really good. And
Thanks, man.
listen, I'm.
that is yours for the rest of the day. Bring it with you.
Hey, Six Flags, can we bring in a bottle of Boone's? It's bourbon.
I was just on a show earlier. It's my show.
Yeah.
Boone's. You take that
It's delightful.
For your pocket. There you go.
Quick mini story. I always bring minis to concerts.
Yeah, dude.
Right? Because you can
Why not?
hide them in your pants. They don't set off a metal detector. Everybody knows.
That's actually a good idea. I didn't
Yeah.
think of that.
Yeah. I mean, that should be the advertisement. Boone's Bourbon Minis. Do you not want to pay concert prices for your alcohol?
Do you want $14 cocktail or this?
Or this? Clearly, you want this. Put them in your pocket, hide them in your belt. However you want to put them in there, jam them inside you.
Shove them.
Shove them.
If it doesn't fit, force it.
Boone's. So we went to the Hollywood Bowl, which I can't wait till that reopens because
Oh,
that's my
yeah.
favorite venue, right? And so me and our buddy Christian Harloff, we're going to see Billy Joel at the Bowl. And
Nice.
I see our friend Jackie Gold, she's a comedian, and she's with this guy. And we're talking to him, and like all of a sudden it hits me. I'm like, holy shit, it's Chunk from Goonies. Like it's the actor.
Just chilling in the stands?
No, he's with her.
Oh,
it's like
wow.
the guy she's with.
Wow.
So I'd had like 7 of these already, right? Just Jack Daniel's minis as far as my pants could go. Like I built like a belt loop. I was like Rambo with Jack Daniel's minis. So we start talking, and I was like, "Hey man, you're Chunk from Goonies, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And Christian looks at me, he's like, "Unbelievable." And so I just reached in my pocket, and I was like, "Hey man, that was awkward. Here, you want a Jack Daniel's mini?" And he was like, "Thanks, man. Yeah, I'll take that." And we just like cheers and had a Jack Daniel's mini. And it was like all paved over. So listen, if
You
you're
fixed
ever
it. You fixed it.
yeah. If you're ever in an awkward situation, Boone's. It really paves it over.
Yeah. If you just messed up.
Boone's. If you're in Charleston, South Carolina, and you find yourself surrounded 8 to 1 by women, and you feel a little socially not comfortable, have a Boone's. You'll become George Clooney overnight.
Dude, man, you're funny, dude. You got to go and jam with the van.
I would love to.
You
I would
got to.
love to.
Dude, you're making me laugh.
I do Josh Pretty. It's my game show on Fridays here,
Cool.
right? And we just do I do fake sponsors, right? So our buddy Matt the Beard Man, he's a founder, he's an awesome guy. He works for New Holland Brewing,
Cool.
and New Holland does beer barrel bourbon.
Oh,
Have you ever
yeah.
and beer barrel bourbon's very good too. Like
Oh, no,
it's-
for sure. We want to do that eventually.
Yeah, it's great. So I've been doing like these beer barrel bourbon sponsorship ads, and he's like, the company knows they are there. They're not going to stop you, but they're not like, boy, we can't wait to have him advertise our product. So, I mean, it's hit or miss. Like my other buddy runs a company called Feltman's of Coney Island. They're like the original Coney Island hot dog, right? They're
Oh,
before
cool.
Nathan's, all that kind of stuff. So they send us hot dogs. And I do these things, and a couple weeks ago, I was like, take a hot dog, jam it in a bun. As soon as I said it, I was like, oh, shit. That was,
Reel it back.
whoopsie-daisy.
I'm at a 10. I need to be at a 4.
Yeah, whoops. Yep, that'll
Well,
happen.
dude, we should let us sponsor the show.
We'd love to.
That'd be
Well, yeah,
awesome.
man. I'll do it every week. It's the best.
I'll
You
just be
can't-
like,
yeah.
can you stop sponsoring the fucking show?
I'm divorced.
The GPA burned down.
He lit it on fire. He tried to do that spitting thing.
Someone died.
Legitimately, the guy
Died.
died.
You can't get killed.
You
guy.
gotta lay low, dude. You gotta go to
Kill
Mexico.
the guy.
You gotta get out of here.
Where'd Josh go? He lives in Cabo now. Where? Like on a street, not in like a nice hotel. Like he's dead. He died in Cabo.
He's got 10 pesos. Man.
Yeah, he lives in a Sprinter van.
But he's got Boone's Bourbon with him.
He's sponsored by Boone's.
What would you say you do here?
We got a plan here.
This is an
Sounds
awesome
good.
show, man.
Thanks, man.
I had
Hey,
no idea this was happening. This
Yeah.
is so freaking cool.
We're just Matt the Beard Man just chimed in. LMAO. Yeah, he's like, I think they're funny. Yeah, everybody thinks they're funny except the corporate sponsors. It's the reason why we can't get sponsored. Like, so welcome to Twisted Tea. God, you ever shotgun one? No. Matt the Beer Man with a super chat. Thank you. I don't care if New Holland likes it. I love it.
Oh, man.
Boom. There you go.
Do you guys remember Four Locos?
Yeah.
Remember the good ones?
Yes.
2008?
Woo,
One
those
of
were
those,
years.
Blackout.
Oh,
that was good.
no
I had a
problem.
friend that bought a whole bunch of them
Yeah.
and sold them on eBay. Like the originals.
Genius.
Oh, yeah. Like in
Genius.
college, he was our richest friend.
Four Loco guy.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It was like Surge mixed with cocaine, mixed with malt liquor, mixed with a watermelon.
And you had one.
And you had one.
And you were like, holy shit.
Yes.
I love that girl.
And we're getting married.
Yeah. I'm
His na-
19.
her name is Brian. Ah,
I'm a finance major,
Yeah.
and this is my wife.
this is it. Why are you wearing a suit to the bar? Four Locos. You don't have a shirt on underneath it. That's my bad. Did not see the no shirt coming. Yeah, I mean, we've been there. We've all been there. College, am I right?
Rock and roll.
We went. There was a liquor store right by my old apartment, and they had Four Loko there all the time. And I was like 2 straight weeks, so I'd go get a Four Loko, and the guy's like, "Another Four Loko," and I'm like, Now I'm the Four Loko
Four
guy.
Loco guy.
Oh,
They had like the camouflage watermelon.
Oh
can.
yeah. Oh man. We had this thing in college called Camo High Gravity Lager.
Lord God.
It came in a 40,
Was it good?
and it had camo, and it written camo in like like that bullet font,
Mhm. Yeah.
And it was 9.8% alcohol by volume in a 40.
And it was a 40.
It was a 40, and one of them was $1.95.
Oh, dude. And I bet they let all the underage kids go in there.
Everybody. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody over 21 ever drank one. And we would drink like 1.5 of those and then go to parties, and girls were like, "Why are you always so drunk?" And I'm like, "The camo, it's still in my hand."
I had it 6 hours ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Four Loko, the camo. We all listen.
We had a liquor store down the street. I was 19, and the guy knew we all had fake IDs,
Yeah.
and it was so funny to be in line and be like, "Good for you, kid. Good for you, kid." Just like hand it. Go ahead. I was like, "Dude, this guy's crushing it."
I told my dad, I was like, "Listen, if right now during the pandemic, all the bars should just be like, come on in. We don't care. Over 18, we need your money. We
Yeah,
need
yeah.
the business.
Stimmy package underage.
Four Loko it. Let's get weird." Thank you all for watching the Positivity Report. We got a couple videos that make me smile before getting out of here, and then me go ride drunk roller coasters at Six Flags.
Nice, dude.
Boone's Bourbon.
Good for you. Thanks
Dude,
for having me.
Dude,
Cheers,
thank you
guys.
for being here. Let's throw the first one up there. One of them got deleted overnight, so here, we pull videos from TikTok, and we just giggle about them.
Nice.
All right. That's me, Tyler.
If you didn't know, he's drunk on bourbon.
Watch this. Speak.
Distract them.
Oh no.
Oh my God. What?
Is that your wife?
Look at the wife.
The wife was so pissed.
Darius is having a backstage. Darius did not do well after this.
Oh my. What a weak man.
Look at Steve Harvey pushing.
And the wife, dude, the wife.
So good. Mark Riley, what do you got?
Nothing. It's amazing. The guy just went completely instinctual. He's just like,
Just awesome.
you have a brain. Use it.
Use it. We got one more. Okay, good. This is what I got to he's giving him that's a beer stein, but he's got
Water.
yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, come on. Now that guy's got a bourbon beard,
Oh, for
Tyler.
sure.
That's a good bourbon beard right
I
there.
can't do that.
What is your beard spotty? What is it? Looks pretty healthy.
No, it does. It just it gets spotty up here for sure.
Yeah. You're a no chest hair
Right,
guy.
right
huh?
here is I'm.
I
was in Mexico, so I was like,
Oh, yeah.
gotta look good,
The
gotta
mo.
look good, gotta look good.
Yeah.
The
The mo. I can't go full, like a full weed whacking. It's got to be a mo, like a 1.5 to
Yeah,
2.
yeah.
Because right now I'm about a 4.5. I got to mow it down a little bit. The best is like we'll be going somewhere I know there's a pool or maybe the beach or something, and I'm like, Amanda, She comes in, you got to do my back. That's marriage. That's love right
That's
there for
love,
you.
dude.
Yep. You know what else is love? Boone's Bourbon. Listen, it's only 10:02. I got a whole day ahead of me,
I kind of feel like
full of boons.
I kind of feel like I ruined y'all's relationship.
No.
She is lit 10, and you guys are like, yeah, all right.
Let's go.
We'll see.
We'll see. Boone's Bourbon. Grab yourself a bottle. Make it 9 a.m. where you are. That's your new slogan, Tyler.
Nice, thanks.
Tyler, you're the man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Tell the people where they can find you. All the good stuff you're doing. Everything.
Yeah, man. Instagram, Tyler Booner, Boone's Bourbon, all that stuff, man. Come check us out June 5th, Jam of the Van.
Yeah.
We'll get you
Where's that
booked
gonna
over
be?
there. It's in West LA off Pico.
Nice.
It's a 200 cap outdoor venue, man.
Okay. That's
So
awesome.
it's like, dude, they'll have Craig Robinson.
Yeah,
out there
he's
playing
great.
piano, and then Jeremy Piven. Like, dude, Jeremy Piven, man, the man. Like, we just started making cigars. I should have brought you guys cigars, dude.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'll send you some.
He's a big cigar guy.
He's a big cigar guy, so I gave him a whole bunch of cigars.
Mhm.
It's just the coolest thing, man. Jamofthevan.com.
Love
so
it.
Check it out.
Sheila Toner chimes in with a super chat. Good luck, Ikaika. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's gonna be like a 1:30. I'm like, Ikaika, we gotta go home.
Yep.
No, we're good. Listen, it's not my first time around the block. It's like my first time with Boone's Bourbon. Do you remember your first time with Boone's Bourbon? It was a warm Sunday afternoon, and you had just come home from church, and you thought to yourself, you know what would make this Sunday even better? Boone's Bourbon. And why? Because everybody knows that Sunday scaries feeling right before you go to bed, waking up on a Monday. With Boone's Bourbon, you'll be so blacked out, you won't even know Monday's coming. Boone's Bourbon. It's so good, you won't know you're drunk. There you go. Tyler's like, shit, we lost our sponsorship. Here we go. It's over.
No, let's do it. We'll talk about it. It'd be so cool, man.
Hell yeah. Thank you for coming on, buddy. Congrats on everything. It's again, a very, very good bourbon. I know I make a lot of jokes, but it's very good. And thank you all for tuning in. Tomorrow on the show, Jenna Ushkowitz from Glee. And she's crushing right now. Just did a rom-com. She's about to get married. She's a good friend. Wednesday, Grace Hancock will be back. Thursday, Sinead DeFries will be back. And then Friday, in studio, Daniel Bridge-Gadd, first time comedian. He just did his full 1 hour in Arizona, and he's here doing some shows in LA, so excited to have him.
Nice.
And then this Friday on Josh Brady, Roxy Strayer versus Steph Sabra in the Battle of the World Girls. We got tons of programming. Mark, who you got on? You have Dan Merle on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, tomorrow. Good people, good movies. For May the
Yes.
4th, we have Dan Merle coming
May the
in.
4th?
Big show
Yes.
tomorrow.
Wednesday, Big Good People Live. Christine Gauthier comes in with a super chat. Six Flags will never be the same. Yeah. That's what we're kind of anticipating. Here we go. And we're going to start that video with I just had a bunch of bourbon. We're going to ride some roller coasters. Sure, Six Flags will be psyched about it. This is the Positivity Report. Remember, every day, positivity, it's an active choice. You make it. Thanks for choosing us. It's way easier to love than hate. Find the good. We'll see you tomorrow.